It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got high-flying offenses set to take off. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Lions, and it's coming up next.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gard alongside my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
Well, you know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit, and we can just talk about defense. But let's face it, we're talking about two units that rank in the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goal. You'd better finish your drives with touchdowns if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Ford Field. Fielded just outside the goal. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD.
There you go.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Yeah, Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading them out from Texas A&M at quarterback, Kellen Mond.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Well, somehow he was able to sidestep that first tackler, but still hit and taken down behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in.
And that is caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Falcons. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Danny Shelton. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Love looking to throw it. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Love's throw is caught here by Anderson. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Mond. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Touchdown, Falcons. Trey Sermon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. This first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working out of the gun. Love. Oh, Hill. Great grab. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
On third down, Henry. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at the 33. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And got his man, complete. Touchdown. Henry Ruggs, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Second quarter now, Falcon football. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Another shot now for this Lions offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 27.
A first down carry for Henry. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. With that last effort, he has reached now 10,000 career rushing yards. Congratulations.
Big-time congratulations. That also means that his publicist can make sure all the information gets to every voter out there who has a say in the Hall of Fame. Fashioning together a heck of a resume.
Come on, let's go. It's a gain of 8.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now Love. He dumps it off for Henry. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, it's Henry. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Lions first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Love now to pass on first down. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 24. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Love, they go play action now. Going to throw deep for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 2nd and 10.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. You gonna like this? Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. 96 yards. And the Falcons are able to add on to their first half lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw again on second down. Love. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Love now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 6 yards left on 2nd down. To the air again, Love. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell in. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jacob Hollister with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now after after the touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. On first down, here's Mon. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play there on the screen pass. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we've seen a few moments like this in the first half already from this defense. You know you're going to give up some catches, but it's what they do after the catch that's really been hurting them. And it does again right there.
Nifty move. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Falcons add on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jordan Love in this offense ready to get the football back. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action. Love to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
Love's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Again, it's Love. That's caught by Hollister. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start in the NFC, and specifically the NFC South. Tampa Bay traveling to the Bayou to take on New Orleans. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. Kareem Hunt, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 2 touchdowns in that ball game for Javonte Williams. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington football team at home at FedEx Field. And that one all even as they play the visiting Carolina Panthers. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure the...
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it's safe to say he has been getting his money's worth in this one.
I would agree with that totally. Being able to go back and launch it and air it out. And let's face it, it's not just him stepping back and flinging it, though. You've got to have someone who can go get it. And that's important for any offense. Someone who can stretch the field, or as they like to say, take the top off of a zone defense. Open things up, because then you can come back and throw underneath and gain some pretty good chunks of yardage as well.
He's ripped the top off of whatever defense they've been playing. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Completes this out left to Ruggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Let's go.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Off the play fake, Mon. Escaping the pressure right. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They go play action here. Mon. And he will find his man Ruggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mon now off of play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Enough to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got an open man, it's Ruggs. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime in trying to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go, defense. Check 52.
Now Mon. Flush to his right. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Jonathan Taylor becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we...
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Micah Parsons coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, Love. And going deep for Hill. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Taking it about the 36. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
That
by the time we have to leave the booth.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Mon. His throw incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. I'll get him. Get him. 54. Mike 54.
Third down from the gun, it's Mond. Got a man complete, it's Taylor. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That catch good for only a couple.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Taylor, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the Lions' 44-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Mond looks to throw. Got his connection complete to Ruggs. Touchdown, Falcons! Henry Ruggs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Falcons score to cap it off.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end. Not a good one. The Lions offense set to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. First down, going to the air with Love. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. The Lions on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Love. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mond. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play there for Atlanta.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Reception here by Ruggs. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
They'll roll him out right and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Jordan Love in this offense, ready to get the football back.
And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Love now. Going up top for Miller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Butker is on target as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Mond looks to throw on 1st down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mond going to throw it. And this one's incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Pass caught by Ruggs, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On 2nd and 10. Mond. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. He let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Mond to the air on 1st and 10. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Olivier Vernon. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Lions are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Following the interception, Love. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On second down, Love once more. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Love looking to throw it. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review.
Let's go, baby.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. And the Falcons get there. Down he goes. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throwing on second and long. Love. Forced out to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Falcons will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Mon. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now he's flushed out right, and that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, are you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 4th down, Mon. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It got his man complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Falcons, they finish off one of the best regular seasons of all time, 16-1, their final record. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it will indeed be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 7-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved.